The job execution is complete, but the execution has failed. And here are the reasons. So it says error category unclassified error, failed line number 86, illegal argument exception, requirement failed entity detector cannot be applied to datasets without columns. Okay, so if I go and look at the script, let's look at line number 86. This is a glue script, right? This is not PySpark. Glue script is very different than PySpark. I'll talk about it anyway when I discuss Glue API. This is the line number. So it says classified map, some entity detector, and classified columns. So it is trying to rename some fields which are not there. So clearly it is failing in the detect sensitive data. Let me delete it for now. You can go through the Glue documentation about detecting PII schema and debug it. I'm not showing it here, but I have removed the detect PII schema and the script has changed accordingly. There's no line 86 anymore, and I'll run the job again. So you go to runs. This is the first run. It shows the worker type, version, etc. And if I run it again, then it would be another run of the same job. But before that, let me show you a few things. First is the logs. You can look at the logs here. In the run details, it will give you the output log. So if you click on output logs, it will open the CloudWatch log stream, and there's nothing here. Similarly, you can open error logs and you'll find maybe multiple error log files, because there might have been multiple logs that have been written during the entire processing. So you can see this is what it is. That's what error log is. Then there are no input arguments. These are the default input arguments depending on the configuration that I have done. And here also you can look at the logs. This is the driver and executor log string. You can see it here, and you can open it in a new console also, which are nothing but the driver and executor log streams. That is the error log. Then you have run insights. There are no run insights for this job because I did not enable it. And then we have matrix. Let me increase the size or maximize it from here. Okay, so it tells you the data movement in bytes. It says 1.92 GB of data were moved. Data shuffle across executors in bytes, which is approximately 4.71 GB. Then if you scroll down, the memory profile, it used 50% of the memory. CPU load was also more than 50%. Then job execution, right? And here you see the maximum allocated executors as per the configuration that I have mentioned with G1X, and 10 maximum number is 10. It would give you 98 executors. That is the maximum. Let's look at the number of completed stages. It is 12, but the number of executors cannot be seen. Worker utilization percentage is only 0.875. There are data skewness, very less, 0.00065, whatever. It is non-considerable. Then we have troubleshoot analysis. This is in preview yet. It has not been released for public. Then we have Spark UI. So this is the Spark UI console, and you can see the entire Spark UI here. I don't think I'm going to talk about it because I have spoken about it at length in our Spark course. But one thing is, you see that multiple dynamic frames got created and all of them were created from RDD. So what it implies is that dynamic frame is a wrapper on top of RDD, or the glue dynamic frame is a wrapper on top of RDD. And the Spark UI tabs are similar. We have stages. It'll show you all the stages, the storage, whether it used any storage or not, the environment, the number of executors, and how long it took to run. Then this is the SQL data frame, which will give you the entire execution path. Okay, so I have removed that detect PII and let's run it again. After deleting the detect PII schema node, the job has completed successfully. And it took approximately 2 minutes 34 seconds. We can look at the output again. So this is the Spark UI for the second job. So you'll have to click on this job and then only you can click on Spark UI. If you select this and then click on Spark UI, it will show you the Spark UI for the failed job. So you'll have to select this and then click on Spark UI or all the other information here to get the information for that specific job only. So it executed successfully. This is the first job, this is the second job, and this is the third job. Now let's validate the output. The output should be in this folder, 3am glue output, and so there are no output. It seems might be the case that the join did not produce any result. So I'll do one thing. I will create a new job with a simpler DAG and then run it again. Okay, so this is a much simpler DAG or much simpler script. I'm joining the customer table and the account table and then writing the output to S3. And I think I should drop some columns also before writing it to the output. So I have added this field and you see there are two nodes. So if I have to add this node after this node, so just click here and change the node parent, which would be drop fields. That's it. Let's save it. And in the drop fields, let me drop some of the fields like these two. And I think I'll have to add one more node to rename fields also. Add a few more rename fields. And I'll have to change the parent of this one, which would be the last rename field. So let me just change it. Rename field 3, save it, and I'll change this target to rename field 3. That's it. And the output would be saved in glue data catalog, right? So the name of the table would be account cost details. Just to show you that the previous run was successful, but we did not get any records, let me show you the tables in glue schema or the glue data catalog. This is the table, finance analyze data, and it is the location, right? Finance joined data set. There are no files here because, or no objects here because the output was empty and there were no records as such. That's why it was not written. So let's see whether we find common records here in this DAG or not. I'll run it and wait for the output to complete. Okay, the execution got completed. Hopefully this time the records were written. Okay, luckily we have records here and there are multiple Parquet files. And the table should be here also, which is account customer details. And this is the one which has been written. You can look at the output using Athena. Let's try that out. I'll open the Athena console just to look at the output of this record or output of the join. This is the database 3am glue db, and here this is the table 3am customer details. And let's do a preview of the table, and you see we can see output here. So this first name, city, last name, etc. Obviously the column numbers are jumbled. For that we'll have to run a select field, which field should be selected first in PySpark, but it got completed and the script is much simpler here. So I'll be using this script also to discuss the glue API. So this is how we can use a no-code option of glue, which is Visual ETL, to execute PySpark code or glue script and run your ETL job.